Good evening, folks. Thank you for tuning in. It is evening time. It's like 7 o'clock. And I think we're shooting this on September. This video is being released September the 14th. So what we're doing today is, thank you guys for tuning in to We'll Fix the Team, by the way. You guys are awesome. Honda Accord. Customer said it cut off with him. And when I got it here, the battery was down. I guess they left the switch on. So I had to charge the battery, got the battery charged up, fired it up, and it did not want to idle very well at all. It just kind of loped, almost sounded like I had a vacuum leak. But I didn't find a vacuum leak, and I looked at the breather tube really well. And I drove it in the shop, pedaling it, because I needed to get it in the shop to check it out. I kind of looked at it out there in the parking lot, but I needed to get a better look at it. And when I did that, it started running right again. It idled fine. It's been running great. This thing almost sounded like it had a racing cam in it, just and it had very low vacuum because the brake, you could feel it in the brakes. When I pressed the brakes, it was a hard pedal. The brake booster was barely getting any vacuum. Valve timing. If valve timing was mechanically off, it would be like that the whole time. You do have a variable valve timing actuator on the intake camshaft. And it gets oil pressure. It also has some VVTI stuff that gets oil pressure from a little actuator solenoid thing. Let me show you guys. It's this thing right here, and it's at the back of the motor, and it's got a strainer screen in it, and there's not a lot of stuff in there. A few little pieces. Not like in the front. I'll show you in the front in a minute. But it's at the back of the motor, and it would be right back here. I had to kind of get it apart before I did the video because I could see what I was looking at. And then there's another part to this that's often overlooked, which is right here in the front. It has a little strainer screen, and this is behind the power steering pump. Now look at that, guys. Look at all the sediment in there. So you're probably asking yourself, like, well, what happened? It's running right. It'll probably run like this for a while, and then it'll mess up. And I hate to send it off to the guy, knowing that I had something really going wrong here. And you'll see that I've got part of that taken loose because there is a small fracture in the breather tube, but that's not what the cause was because it was pretty well closed off. This valve that's in the center, this little valve, is operational under certain circumstances to allow oil to flow through to actuate the variable valve timing in the camshaft phaser and the actuators for the other valves for the added airflow at higher RPMs. They have these little VVTI actuators inside the top of the rocker arm assembly. Well, trash and stuff gets in there and it hangs this valve up, and the valve itself can kind of just start not doing very well. And what we're going to do, we're going to clean everything up. We're going to replace this with a new valve. We're going to get a new strainer screen here. We're going to clean this out with brake cleaner, get all that sediment to run out of that hole, and fix this breather tube, put the new one on it, and I think that we're going to be okay. I've seen this happen before. I've had these vehicles do this. Of course, now that they're kind of getting older, you don't see them as much. It's not a big thing anymore, but I do remember that with Honda. So just wanted to give you a little bit of, oh, and by the way, before I cut the video, variable valve timing in these Hondas is operational after 3,500 RPMs at operating temperature. From 0 to 3,500 or 0 to 3,400, you really won't see any variable valve timing take place. It's after that RPM is when the VVTI starts doing what it's supposed to do. And you'll see these cars give some weird problems when you're climbing through the RPM range. It'll almost feel like there's a rev limiter. It'll go vroom, vroom. You watch, the car will lunge, the engine will change RPMs like you're moving, like you're letting on and off the throttle, and you're not. It's the problem with the valve timing. So that's another symptom of VVTI issues when you have this issue in the engine. Well, you can drive it a little ways, and after the engine warms up, then it starts doing that. That's its time to work the variable valve timing at normal operating temperatures and at 3,500 RPMs plus on the engine. Little FYI, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Lots of love. God is definitely in control. He loves you guys. Bye.